Hey guys, Subs Kyle here. Background may look different. I may look I'm on lower this on a lower level or whatever. Um, I moved. I moved into a new apartment just this past weekend. I actually spent 5 days moving to a new apartment, so that's why I've been delayed in videos. Last video I did was a month ago. I never really wait that long to make a video. The longest would probably be at least 2 weeks at the most, but a month is just a little bit too long for me not to make a video. So I was going to talk about just one topic. I'm going to talk about just three things briefly. One, the injury of Roman Reigns. Why I think that could be a good thing. Not him being injured, but at least being away. Two, NXT / TakeOver 2. Then my quick thoughts of like Night of Champions and, where they're going with the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar sort of thing. So first off, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had a hernia this past weekend. His match with Seth Rollins was canceled at Night of Champions. Doctor stated that Roman Reigns could be out from 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if I look at the calendar and do my math right, it's speculated that Roman Reigns hopefully should be back or could be back in time for Survivor Series. Hope Roman Reigns does well and everything, but I think him being away in this injury, I think could probably do him, give him more positives than negatives. Here's why. So many fans already are kind of starting to turn away from Roman Reigns, at least the internet wrestling fans, so to speak, just for the simple fact that, a lot of people, it's starting to click in a lot of people's minds and brains that this guy could be the one to replace John Cena, and I think a lot of people kind of don't like the fact that they kind of already know who the WWE is kind of targeting to replace Cena, so they just kind of fold up their arms and like, no, this isn't the one. The one who replaces John Cena should become natural. It should be natural and organic, not forced. So I think that's one reason why a lot of people kind of starting to turn away from Roman Reigns. But I think this could be a good thing for Roman to be away for a while, because I think Roman needs to repackage himself. I think they need to get rid of the Shield gimmick. The Shield is broken up. They've been broken up for months now. Why keep the entire gimmick that belonged to a faction and give it to one sole or singular wrestler? That doesn't make sense to me. It never did, really. I kind of thought it was a trial by fire thing. Maybe they didn't have anything for Roman, and I still think that's probably the reason why Roman still kept up with the Shield gimmick for as long as he did, because I don't think they really had anything for Roman in terms of a look. So I think this is really a time for WWE to change Roman up a bit, change his look, give him some different music, not the Shield music or anything similar to it, but give him some nice BA music, and change his character up a little bit. He can still be the silent BA, but let him be more of himself. Let him be more of, I don't know, I forget Roman Reigns' real name, but, let him be, let Roman Reigns be Roman Reigns, so to speak. Let him be more of himself, the guy that you see on the interviews. Let us see that on television that a lot of people probably won't see or do see. Give us that Roman Reigns. I think, him being away, it could help, and it could make fans miss Roman, as a matter of fact, because to me, the former Shield members are the only bright spots on Raw for me, as well as Brock Lesnar, even though he's not on every Raw, but you get the point that I'm making. They're the only bright spots in WWE for me currently. Night of Champions, briefly. Night of Champions was an okay pay-per-view. The main event between Cena and Brock Lesnar, I kind of expected to wait for it to go. I didn't expect they should not have been a repeat of SummerSlam, where SummerSlam was just a special main event type of match, especially coming from being a John Cena match that was just special and different. There's no way that they should have replicated that come Night of Champions, and they didn't. John Cena got some offensive maneuvers. However, I didn't like the fact of how they had it, where John Cena, quote unquote, almost made Brock Lesnar tap. He almost tapped. Seth interfered and almost teased in the cash in, which was kind of cool, I guess. Right now, I really don't think it's Seth's moment. I think Brock needs to be champion to WrestleMania. Give Seth that belt 2015. Let 2015 be the year where you push the young guys, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. Let that Bray Wyatt, amongst others. Let them be that. Let 2015 be the year of the new generation where you push them full forward. So you got to figure they're going to do John Cena versus Brock Lesnar 3 at Hell in a Cell. I hope Brock Lesnar wins clean at Hell in a Cell. I think Hell in a Cell it'll be a good blow-off match, for those two. But after Hell in a Cell, I do not want to see another Brock Lesnar Cena match. I'm sorry. Throw in Randy Orton, throw in a Sheamus, build them up. You can build them up and throw them in there. Throw in. They probably would do a big show. That wouldn't surprise me if they ever did do a big show. Throw in a Batista if his schedule is clear. Somebody but John Cena. Really, I'm getting kind of a little faded out with the Cena Brock feud. I know a lot of people keep saying, let Paul Heyman betray Brock Lesnar. Why? Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are the best manager / wrestler combo we have right now in WWE. Yes, it happened, 10, 12 years ago, but why have it now? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why people want Paul Heyman to turn on Brock. It doesn't make sense. It happened before. Why do you want it to happen again? It's like been there, done that. Just keep them together. Keep them as this cohesive monster and manager type of thing. So I hope they're done with this. And also too, hey, people can't complain too much about Brock Lesnar being champion, because at first we all pretty much thought he was going to just work the big pay-per-views, the SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania. From my looks of it looks like Brock Lesnar is going to be working the throwaway pay-per-views as well. He already did Night of Champions. He's locked in for Hell in a Cell, and you can figure he's going to be locked in for TLC and probably Elimination Chamber as well. So I don't get people's frustration still with Brock Lesnar being champion. He's now working every pay-per-view up until WrestleMania, even the throwaways he's working. So like I said, I don't have a problem with Brock Lesnar being world champion. I think I have a better feeling of him being world champion than The Rock did. The only reason why I had a love-hate relationship with Rock being champion when he was last year was just the fact that, he was only being champion just so that he could give the belt to John Cena, so that John Cena could have his cake and eat it too. That's the only reason. But nevertheless, I think Brock, I have no problem with being the champion from now to WrestleMania. How they book him as champion is what matters, and how they get him to that destination is what matters. And then lastly, NXT. Everybody's been talking about NXT for several weeks, with the signing of Kenta, Sting, and Prince Devitt, along with, guys like Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn, who are already there. A lot of people, really getting into NXT. NXT, to me, I think is awesome. I think NXT has been a better idea to come from WWE since the network. And I think the WWE network was a good idea coming from WWE, but I think the NXT brand and how they've done things down there was was probably the best idea WWE has had since the network, and even probably since their Performance Center that they came up with 2 or 3 years ago. They had the NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, pretty good darn show, awesome Fatal 4-Way main event. But the one thing I wanted to touch on was that Triple H said on WWE.com, he had a video, and he was speaking on how he wanted NXT to be its own brand, the one they kind of compete with a Raw or SmackDown, and they travel around the world, so to speak, and it kind of be like an ECW, but it won't be a farming ground for the WWE. I thought that was an interesting statement coming from Triple H, because he owns NXT. Not owns it, but he's in charge of NXT and everything that goes on down there. And I think every wrestling fan can say that NXT is probably the best pound for pound wrestling show out right now. Not only better than Raw and SmackDown, but TNA and probably any other wrestling show that's out on TV right now. NXT is great, and I kind of started to sit there and think about it. If NXT did become its own brand, I think that actually, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think have NXT as the kind of like unofficial third brand. Like, you don't have to acknowledge it as being the third brand, the third extension, but kind of be like its own unofficial like brand. And you just have your own crop of talent there, just do what they do, and just kind of keep them separate from the Raws and the SmackDowns and what everybody else do up in WWE. I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be cool. Hopefully we will get to see something like that. We'll get to see NXT grow to a level, at least the size audience of a SmackDown or Raw. So you guys let me know what you think about these 3 topics. Leave your thoughts in the box below. Comment, subscribe, and I'm back. Peace.